Well, that was a very exciting game, and I just realized that I'm wearing Kansas City colors, even though this is literally a shirt I got in Cozumel. So, but anyway, on today's episode of CDT Sports, this is our initial reaction to Super Bowl 57. All right, so I did the intro there. Chris, you want to tell us a little bit about the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was a pretty good game from what I can remember. I'll actually be honest, guys. I fell asleep during the Super Bowl at the end because sometimes that happens. I just fell asleep. But that was probably one of the best games I've seen in a while. I caught up on what I did miss, and it was amazing. I'm really upset that I missed that little bit of the end. We'll get to probably what the big thing is that a lot of people are talking about. I don't think it's that big of a deal personally. That's just me. But it was probably one of the better games I've seen. I honestly was so worried that Philadelphia was just about to smash them. And I was like, oh no, it's exactly what we talked about. It's what we didn't want. But no, they ended up kind of making a good defensive adjustment during the half and came back and Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey was Kelsey. I mean, he had a good game.
Obviously, the Chiefs learned their lesson from Super Bowl 55 because the offensive line was they were keeping him protected. And
Yes, they were. They did a
I'll
great
just
job.
I'll just say this. So okay, first two drives both ended in field or not field goals, touchdowns. So that was pretty cool. And at first I'm like, okay, this is the opposite of 53, where literally no touchdown was scored until like the third quarter or something like that. So yeah, it was a very offensively driven game. It was entertaining to watch. I think I looked up during the game. I was like, well, dang, they're both at like 30 something points apiece right now. What's the highest scoring Super Bowl ever? And it was the one in 1995. I think the 49ers blew out the Chargers or something like that. It was like 42 to something. Anyway, and then so they didn't beat the record. The combined total was 75 points for that game. This one was 73 because it was 38 to
Oh,
35. So I was like, dang, they didn't get the record, but they might be close to second. I don't know. But yeah, so as a division rival fan of Philly, as a fan of a division rival of Philly, I was very happy. And I actually texted a friend of mine after it. She's like, don't talk to me. I'm in mourning. And so, but I knew that Philly was going to riot either way. Now, okay, so yeah, like I said, let's just real quick go by the so okay. They started, and I caught the very end of the Chris Stapleton doing the national anthem. He did a good
yep,
job.
it
A lot of
was pretty
people,
good.
yeah. So okay, literally it took so less than 5 minutes. Jalen Hurst did a 1 yard touchdown run. The kick was good, and then literally like not even a full 4 minutes later, Travis Kelsey got his 18-yard touchdown reception for Patrick Mahomes, got the extra point. Then for the next like 7 minutes, yeah, there wasn't nothing. AJ Brown did a
The AJ
45.
Brown 45-yard touchdown was probably my favorite touchdown the entire game.
That was a good
It was
catch,
beautiful. Yeah,
really good
it was
catch.
beautiful.
And then, well, okay, so not immediately. I'll say
That
this,
fumble
but
recovery though.
yeah, the fumble recovery by Nick Bolton. I was like, and then they talk about it. I mean, it's not on here with the actual like play by play, but well, it is on the play by play. I'm looking at the scoring. Then he did it again, but because the Philadelphia receiver didn't have control of the ball long enough, I guess they went ahead and just yeah, they overturned it. But anyway, so I thought that Nick Bolton could be MVP for that reason alone.
I honestly thought the same thing. What was his actual stats that game for Mahomes? Just so I can pull that up. All right, so yeah, I mean, three touchdowns. He did exactly what he needed to do. His yards was 182, 21 for 27. I mean, you can't really ask for much more. I know it's not 400 passing yards, what people are used to, but hey, if you took the under, I'm sure you did great.
Well,
Um,
at the half, it was what? It was 24. Sorry, yeah, it was 17 to 14 at the end of the half, right? No, no, no. Sorry, it was 14 to 24. Yeah, 14-24
yep.
Eagles. And then yeah, let's see here. And then in the third quarter, the Chiefs got a touchdown. That was Isaiah Pacheco. Yep, he got a 1 yard touchdown. And then there was a field goal. Oh yeah, and actually, yeah, what was it? Kansas City, Butker missed a field goal, like when
In the very
the
beginning.
yeah, I think. Wait a minute. Yeah, because they deferred. I just can't
Yep.
remember if okay. Either way. But yeah, they deferred, and then blah blah blah. There was a field goal by Elliott, and then Kadarius Toney from the Giants. I'm sure he was happy to beat the Eagles. He got a 5-yard touchdown from reception from Mahomes. Then Sky Moore got a 4-yard touchdown reception. So at that point, they're 35-27. Jalen Hurts did a 2-yard touchdown run, 2 points. They got the 2-point conversion. There were a lot of there was at least like in the same drive 2 times where they went for fourth down and they got it, and it was like 4th and 5 or something. So they were
Yeah.
aggressive. And then I mean, so we'll talk about halftime here in a second, but we should definitely talk about that play. It was holding on, who was it? It was, hold on. Da, 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 James Bradbury penalized for
Yeah, it's
holding.
Bradbury. I was trying to remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, and so basically it rushed them to the 2-yard line with 136. The Chiefs had the ball. They kneeled twice and kicked a 27-yard field goal because the Eagles, they burned their timeouts pretty quickly. I'm just gonna say, I thought personally,
Yeah.
but
I don't think it was good clock management.
yep. But then they had 8 seconds on the clock and a Hail Mary pass by Hurts. It wasn't even that powerful, and honestly, it only made like 30 or 40 yards. I don't know. I could be wrong, but anyway.
Yeah, you kind of forgot that he had that injury beforehand, and I don't know if that's
Oh
just
yeah, his
how far he
shoulder.
can
Yep.
throw,
Isn't he
or if
left-handed
that's
though?
just what I don't know. I don't know that, to be honest with you.
But yeah, so basically Mahomes completed 21 of 27 pass attempts, 182 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think he said it earlier. Got MVP for the second time. He ran for 44 yards on that bad ankle, so good for him. Uh, Pacheco was the top rusher, 15 carries, 76 yards for a
Yeah,
touchdown. Bolden had 8 solo tackles, 1 assist, and a fumble return touchdown. Kadarius Toney, all by the way, he did like the longest punt return in Super Bowl history. That was pretty cool. I think it was
I
like
didn't really
60,
know.
60 something yards. I'm not going to
You
search for it.
imagine? Could you imagine being labeled a bust as a draft pick and then just being able to redeem yourself on the biggest stage of your sport? That's got to feel great.
Oh yeah, well, I was going to say Juju
That's got to feel
Smith-Schuster.
great.
He was well. I think it was better than when Antonio Brown left the Steelers, but I never liked him with the Steelers because he was always just dancing on the logos and just being disrespectful, and like he
Yeah,
came off like just a kind of a punk, like disrespectful, and I'm just like, really, dude.
yeah.
So anyway, but no, I thought the Eagles played really good. Okay, so back to that holding penalty because I don't want to get off track here.
Oh yeah,
So, I mean, look, as somebody who did not want the Eagles to win, I'm happy about it. As if someone was an Eagles fan, I can understand why they're mad about it.
oh yeah,
However, it is the it was a hold, I mean,
yeah,
you look at it from all the angles. I mean, yeah, it's kind of maybe an exaggerated penalty, like maybe,
yeah.
maybe they didn't need to call it. But I mean, and I've seen people argue like, well, you shouldn't be able to do that in the Super Bowl when it decides the game. I'm like, well, actually, that's kind of most important is that they do it in the Super Bowl, you
Yeah,
know?
you don't want them to. What if they hadn't called it? What are Kansas City fans going to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
always,
it's always something.
and I mean, I get it. You get the heat of the moment, and even the guy who completed it, who did the penalty, I can't remember his name, even though we just said it. Yeah,
Bradbury, yep, yep.
yeah, Bradbury, yeah, he was like, yeah, no, I did it. I was hoping they wouldn't catch it. So,
Yeah. I mean, that's just it's a move that you can do. You see it all the time. They did not call it in the beginning of the game as much at all, and that I mean that's the problem. This consistency on the calling, like that was a problem all year.
oh, I'm not disarguing. I'm not
Oh no
arguing
no
that
no
the play calling, like the
oh no no I know.
officials have been terrible this past year or
Oh no
two.
no no
But
no no no. I'm thinking like people like I'm thinking like rebuttal wise of what people would say back to that, like how they would kind of be like, oh, it's like,
should
oh,
have
they
been a
didn't call
call, or
that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's like, but it was, and that's the game.
yeah. So I'm sure the referees, look, we've all been at the bad end of a bad call,
Yes, yes,
so it happens. Just play as disciplined football as you can because you could tell the Eagles wanted it, and it was a 35-35 tie at the last 2 minutes, and then got that field
yep,
goal, and that's really what I mean. We both predicted it would be a really high scoring, low or like
yep.
high scoring.
Field goal game.
Yeah, very very close. So,
Yep.
I mean, the fact is, Philly fans. I heard they already flipped a car outside of the stadium when
Before the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that true?
Pretty sure. I don't know. That's just and then
That's
again,
ridiculous.
like I had somebody unfriend me on Facebook because I didn't even talk smack about the Eagles. I was just hoping the Chiefs would win. Gotta say the memes were wonderful, the ones that I've seen. Yeah, it I thought it was a really good Super Bowl. I thought it was a high scoring game, a lot of offense. Obviously I think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. I think he's gonna potentially get back here again. And all I gotta say is just it came down to playing smart football.
Yep,
And
disciplined football.
yeah, so cheeseburgers for all. And yeah, so Pat Mahomes got his second.
Who
And
would have
the
you
only thing,
picked? Who would have you picked for MVP?
see, it always goes to the quarterback. I didn't think Mahomes really deserved it. I mean, obviously, he did really good in the second half. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
Kelsey didn't do much of anything after the first half. And then,
I think
which
Kadarius Toney
he could have
or
gotten it.
or why am I blanking on his name? The guy with the fumble return, Bolton.
Bolton, yeah.
Um, I mean that's kind of he kept them in the game to keep them in it. I don't know. I kind of feel like he might have deserved it a little bit personally.
Had Philly won, I feel like Jalen Hurts would have gotten MVP, and it's because he
Oh, and
pretty
he
much
would have
what
deserved it.
he was the running offense. Like he was
He
their
was the
rushing. Yeah.
entertainment of the Super Bowl. He was amazing.
Yeah. And yeah. So I thought it was a good game. I got to respect the way that the Eagles played. I just, as a fan of a division rival, I'm glad they lost. And like I said, I thought it would be a close game. Like literally last time we talked about it, I was like, I feel like the Eagles are going to win, but I want the Chiefs to win. And so they did. And I finally got a pick right. So yeah, the last two, if not three or four Super Bowls, I've always rooted for the team that lost.
Did we
Although
both want the Chiefs to win? I can't remember.
I thought you picked the Eagles.
I probably did. I think I did. Yeah, because I wanted
Yeah.
to pick something diverse. Yep,
And they played well. Don't get me wrong.
they
It's
did.
just, but again, it just comes down to that one play, and
Yep,
that's just kind of how things are. But
it's a great game.
so halftime, what'd you think of Rihanna?
See, I'm a big fan of when all the like when everyone's there and you have the collabs and you have all these different people. I'm not a big Rihanna fan personally, but like she was good. But like I made Illuminati jokes the entire time.
I so she's a great singer,
Mhm.
and there were times where like I know like okay, she's talking into her mic. This is her talking, singing. There were times like they were obviously playing with backing tracks, but at the same time, I'm like I couldn't tell when her backing track was playing and when her actual like voice was, and I was like I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But it. I thought she did well. Like I said, I agree. I think last year's Super Bowl halftime show was probably the best one in like a decade because of all the artists collaborating and whatnot. But she did well, and I think people are just hating on her for no reason because, and I'll say this too, like immediately like everyone tried to figure out if she was pregnant at the show. I
Mhm.
thought that she just had her kid, and that was like postpartum,
Yep.
like that was what was going on.
Well, yeah, she did just have one kid because
Well,
she's with ASAP Rocky.
but apparently the kid was born in May of last year, so I'm like, oh,
Yep.
that's you know farther back than I thought because I thought she just had the kid like a couple months ago.
Same.
But hey, I mean, she's pregnant again. Congrats. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I thought it was funny how she started with "Better Have My Money," and she did like 12
Yep.
songs. Yeah, I think normally they don't do that many, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good performance though, I thought.
And she started playing "Work," and I'm like, wait a minute, that's her, right? Oh yeah, that is her.
You
So
forget how many like hits she has.
yeah, I mean, I knew she was gonna play "Only Girl in the World," and I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. And then yeah, obviously I'm not like a huge Rihanna fan. I don't listen to a lot of pop, but I still like
Yeah.
her. I respect her. So,
Yeah.
but anywho, so what would you grade the Super Bowl? Like, would you put it? I would give
A.
it A. Yeah, not an A plus. I'd give it an A, maybe an A
I give it
minus.
yeah. A minus. I like high scoring games. If the Eagles had won, I probably would put it in actually one of my top five Super Bowls. Just because Jalen Hurts was having a game and he would have if he would have won that game for them,
It
that I think
wasn't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, you're good. It's just I think he deserved MVP of that game just because it's just unfortunate they lost.
I don't like. It wasn't as dramatic as I was expecting it to be at some points. Like, I feel like just
Yeah.
both teams, they were both the number one seed in their conference,
Yep.
so they were both just
You could see it.
pounding it. Yeah, it was just kind of like who wanted it more, I guess, and who
Yep.
was, who was going to play
I
smarter
mean,
football.
yeah, that's what it came down to is just, one bad decision.
Yeah. And I don't think people were calling for him to get fired. So
No, no, they'll be back. The Eagles are good. Sure, you don't want to hear that.
I mean, I wish
Rather
Washington would
than the
get better.
Dallas
I don't wish the Eagles to like get worse. I just wish for Washington to get better.
and for
So
Dallas just to keep.
just go away. But yeah, no, I thought it was good. I would say it was probably better than last year's. Just, I mean, so I liked who was playing more last year. Like last year was one that like I did not have a dog in that fight. Like I didn't care who really won, even though I was rooting for the Bengals. But this year, I had a team to root against. So I guess that I don't know. Is it better like when you have nobody you're rooting against, or is it better to have someone you're rooting against in the Super Bowl?
No, because when you're rooting against the, I don't know. My experience with rooting against teams is usually Tom Brady. It doesn't go out for in my benefit unless they're
Yeah.
going against the Giants.
Last time I rooted for the Chiefs, they let me down because they lost. And that's the thing too, is the O line they protected and the Philly
Yeah,
defense
both
just
O
wasn't.
lines.
Yeah. So, but again, the Eagles' run game was not up to the standard, and even then, the Chiefs didn't really run that much. I mean, they ran like 100 and something total yards, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, AJ Green, he was good.
It
I
was
thought,
honestly about who took advantage of the most opportunities. Like, you get a fumble. No, you don't get a fumble. You get a fumble touchdown. Oh, you get a nice punt return. No, you get a punt return for a touchdown. I feel like that because like they really didn't do too much. Now that I think about it, like they I mean Mahomes threw for 3 touchdowns, which is still very
yeah,
impressive.
oh yeah,
But special teams and defense I mean
yeah.
defense won on the championship actually.
I would have given Kadarius Toney, yeah, a pick, but I mean, like a pick for MVP. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I will say one last thing before we end this. Travis Kelsey, I did not like him barking like a dog at the end when they won. He's like, nobody expected us to win, and well, it's like you're the Chiefs. You have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey. We knew you were going to be top five this year at minimum, maybe if not
Yeah.
if maybe top three.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Gonna be
they
one of
just
the best teams.
yeah. So Travis Kelsey kind of rose the wrong way. People don't like Patrick Mahomes. I can understand not liking people that he is around, but I think he's a good guy. I have
Yeah,
no
he seems like
problem.
a nice guy.
Yeah, I wish him well. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. He's not even 28. He just turned 27 and already he's got two MVPs, two Super Bowl MVPs. He's got two Super Bowl rings and he's got 5 Pro Bowls. So
Yeah, I'm 26. I ain't
we
got
made the
none of
wrong we made the wrong
that.
choices, buddy. Yeah, God, I don't even think like the last one of ours from our high school to go to the NFL was, I think. Well, I know Kelly Washington played for the Bengals and
Well, one of the guys that went
with
to
that we graduated with. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
he just got a
Oh,
Super
oh,
Bowl ring
oh,
with the Chiefs.
yes, the guy at Millbrook who
Millbrook.
grad.
Yep.
Yeah, he graduated after us, like within the last couple of.
Number 13 safety guys. I think it's on the Chiefs. I can't
But
remember his name off the top of my head.
I'm trying to think
But
of when did he graduate? Because he was drafted this past year, so he probably was about 4 years after
2019.
us. Yeah.
He graduated in 2019 because I looked it up because one of my buddies was like, "Hey, someone from Millbrook was going." I was like, "Oh, that's wild."
Yeah, so somebody from Millbrook has a Super Bowl ring now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody from our high school. I mean, I know the one person we graduated with in our class.
Oh no, you got Kelly Washington.
Yeah, we got Kelly Washington, but he didn't win a ring, did he?
Yeah, he did with
He
the
did.
Patriots.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
I
Well, I was gonna
think.
say
I think.
the one person that we graduated with. I don't want to name names, but I think he was drafted by the Broncos, and then he went to the Giants, and I don't know what's going on with him now. You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. That sounds about right.
I don't know what's going on with him now. So
I don't think anything.
okay. Well, anyway, thank you all for listening. Sorry, this is more of a rambling episode. We kind of just were having our initial thoughts. I wanted to do a pretty quick response to the Super Bowl because it's the Super Bowl, and I thought it was good. So I'm
Hey,
happy.
and if you guys are watching this, you guys should drop a like, subscribe, comment on the video if you don't like it, and if you do like it. Appreciate any type of support that you guys are giving us.
Yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about too, because now NFL season's over. We'll talk about the draft, obviously, and I think we're going to do a couple of really early predictions here soon. But I mean, and we're always going to talk about the Ravens and the Commanders. So,
Oh yeah.
but I guarantee, like I said, as soon as Dan Snyder sells, we're gonna have like a party. But no, I mean, yeah, we can. I mean, isn't NBA going on right now? I know hockey's not. Is it? I don't even know what's going on. But
I think basketball's going on. I don't know much about hockey or anything like that.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you had a great Super Bowl weekend, and here's to the next lonely 7 or 8 months without football. So,
Hey, USFL,
I'm interested in watching it. Maybe we could talk about that.
we could
So,
talk about that.
all right.
Let us know.
All right.